How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, time to get that imagination all cranked up, get into some creativity. It's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Jonathan Wayshak. And if you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He is such a creative person. I love his mind. I think he has a really interesting style and interesting way of thinking. His imagery almost feels like in a good way, like his mind is just spilling onto the paper, and I feel like he must have just a lovely connection between his spirit all the way down through out into his fingers to out in everything he touches, and that's a really hard thing to do, but I really feel like there's a little bit of chaos in there and a little bit of just fluidity in everything that he does. So let's take a look at a couple more of his stuff. Like I said, it really just feels like it's his imagination spilling out onto the paper, and I really love that about his work. I think there's just something so unique and so beautiful about that stuff that he does. Again, just really great stuff. Like there's always a little twist that he brings to each and everything that he does, and I really dig his style, really. So definitely check out more from him. I will throw a link in the description below, and I love just how chaotic and filled with information each and every one of his images is. There's never a dull moment in anything that he does. I love this one especially. Big fan of Doom when I was little, and just the innocence and the beauty of this hand. The hands feel almost like a kind of Egon Schiele kind of style there. But I did want to share a quote with you guys from Jonathan as well, and that was we're just not interested in doing anything common. And I thought that was great, and I think it's great because it's really relevant to, I think, his work, that there's nothing that's, oh, this is exactly like that guy's style, or this is exactly like that, I've seen that before, or anything. There's really each and every image that he creates is, like I said, just almost like a screen capture of his imagination. I'd love to know what he thinks about his work, if he feels that it really captures his own imagination, or if he does that thing that a lot of us struggle with of, but I really wanted it to look this way, even though it turned out okay and I could put my name on it and everything. If his imagination, I feel like it might line up closer than a lot of people to getting that instant creative, imaginative glimpse of your work before it turns out. I feel like there's a closeness in his work in that. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into some animation. This is the Liam rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at Creative Crash. And if you're not familiar with what we're doing for the rest of the videos, we give ourselves 48 frames, give or take. I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with as well. And we kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of talking through the process. But the main goal of doing these videos each and every day is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and create your own stuff. Each and every day, take another step in your journey towards mastering whatever medium it is that you're passionate about. And that being said, let's go ahead and start playing around. So what I was thinking for this one was we do almost like a stubby run cycle. He seemed kind of hobbitish to me, so I kind of want to do a little bit of a hunch over, a little bit of just quick little steps and close a fist and stuff. I thought that would be kind of what usually when I get a character, I kind of have an idea on the ones that I feel like are closer to what I like. I usually have an idea of where I want to go with them, and that's kind of what the first initial idea was that came to me. So first thing I want to do is I want to see if I can switch the arms over to FK. So let's see, settings, there we go. Put those left and right arms in FK instead of IK here. Make sure that we just have NURB curves, NURB surfaces, and polygons selected, and let's get started on building this guy. Now, one thing that I'm kind of a little, I wouldn't say unsure of, but kind of pondering while I'm creating first initial pose here is what kind of timing I want to use. Because I feel like I want to do shorter, quicker steps. It would be good for this character. So it's something to keep in mind. Probably do it on 10s then instead of 12s. I feel like that would be a little bit better. And let's go ahead and lean the spine over here and bring the hips back. to switch that. Right? Ew. Kidding. And bring that back. Have a Skrillex song stuck in my head for some reason today. Wonder if you guys ever get that too, where you're working on something, but then you also have like a song playing in the back of your head, in the back of your mind. What would be the correct way to say that? Something like that. Okay, and let's grip the fingers in. And their pinky spread. I'll bring that in a little bit. Index, a little bit more. Where's that thumb curl? And what about a thumb spread? So we bring that over a little bit more. Index, let's curl it in a little bit. We don't really have, I guess it looks like we have more, but I think I'll just stick with these for today. Now, is there a twist on the fingers at all? No? Okay, well, I'll just stick with that. And I'll bring these ones in here. And not have it be such a tight grip. And do a little bit of pinky spread here. Index spread there. Middle spread there as well. And then we'll curl the thumb here. And spread the thumb over a little bit more. And like I said, I think I'm going to make the steps a little bit smaller. Rotate that up a little bit further. And we start there. I feel like we should push the hips back just a little bit. Okay, I think that's a good starting point. Maybe tip the head up a little bit more. Okay, so let's go ahead and save our file. We are using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. And for more information on that and all the things we've talked about so far today, check out all the links in the description below, along with more stuff if you want to follow me on any of the social media platforms that I'm at. Most of the time, just Google Casey Turbos and just follow me wherever. Hang out with me, talk to me about random stuff, whatever it is you guys feel like. Okay, so let's start building our animation here. And first thing I want to do is do the legs. And I think actually I'd probably want to do this on 5, right? Okay, so let's go to 10, push it here, rotate it there, and back again, vary between those ones. And then I think I need to go 60 frames so that we loop correctly, right? It's 1 cycle, it's 2 cycles. Yeah. We want to go 60 frames so that we can loop back in here. So let's see. Okay, and let's look at the other foot here. And we'll go to 20, bring that back here, rotate it back there, bring it forward a little bit more, down, then bring that to 10, delete what we have on 20, and then flip between those two keys, really. And again, we're just building the foundation here. And a lot of the stuff I kind of do is kind of quick moves just so that we can get something that we can put out that's decent within an hour. It's usually the time frame that I try to keep these videos within. So sometimes these are cheats or workarounds or just quick ways that may not be the most perfect animation ever, but at least it's something workable. So let's go ahead and drop that foot so we get a plant. Then drop it again here. And then drop it again here. least 2 frames, if not 3 frames of contact per step as well. But we're just kind of building this thing for right now. And so far this is a really nice animatable rig. Seems like there's not too much breaking on us and not getting too much lag, which is always a nice thing to have in there. Okay, still need some cleanup on there, but I think overall the movement's okay. So let's go ahead and we'll actually just do 3 frames of contact here. So zero that out and zero that out. And we'll keep it here. Okay. 1, 0, 0. And 0 and 0. And then if we need another frame of this or 2, we'll see. Don't want this stuff, everything to feel too floaty, but I want to get at least a couple frames of good solid contact. And you really need 2 frames in order to actually feel like there's some connection. It's just kind of a timing note. 1 frame, you're not really going to see or feel. 2 frames, you'll at least feel that they're connecting. You are not really going to see something until it's really probably 3 or 4 frames, unless you're really watching carefully. But 2 frames you'll feel. 1 frame you're not going to really feel. It might adjust something, but as far as the weight's concerned, you're not really going to feel just 1 frame, but 2 frames you'll feel like there's some contact or something there. You know what, I think I am going to push the hips back forward a little bit. I don't think I needed to do that. I feel a little too far back overall now. Okay, we still got a lot of cleanup to do on the feet, but it's workable for right now. Obviously we have some intersection and we need to do some more play, but I'm going to focus on the hips now. So we'll just stick with our normal timing for now. And then up, but we're probably going to push that about 3 frames later. Let's just start building it with sticking with our normal base 5 kind of system that we're working with. Up again, down again, and then back up again. Let's see. Okay, so let's look at our window animation editor's graph editor. Let's clean up our translate Y's a little bit better. Beginning felt a little bit more natural than the ending, so we'll kind of stick more with that kind of a feeling. And let's go and see it now. Like I said, I think I want to delay that about 3 frames, 2 frames. Let's try it just 2 frames for right now. And then we need to plug in another key here. So that means we need to go a little bit higher, just so that we can peel off it. Then we go a little bit less up and a little more down here. And maybe just a little bit less movement overall, so we'll just scale it back a little bit. Alright, go ahead and save that, and let's do a little bit of movement in the hips here. A little bit of side to side, and we'll start off with the hips over that planted foot. And over that one. Oh, actually, we want to do this on the planted foot. What am I talking about? So I'll go at 5, and we'll push it over there. And then 15 over there. 25 over there. 35 over there. 45 over here. 55 over there. And then back again to 0. balanced here. Let's see. Yeah, it feels like it's a little too much. It feels okay from the back, but from the side it feels a little too swayish. Swayish. Feels a bit too swayish. Okay. Maybe still even a little bit more. I'll scale it back a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, and let's start doing a little bit of rotate. So rotate to favor that planted foot. Yeah, let's do it here. So it sticks out there, out there, out there. So this isn't the planted foot, this is just the most prominent foot. If we want to delay it a couple frames, I guess we can, but I think it'll work better if we keep it this way. Alright, and so I gotta rotate Y's. Let's clean those up a little bit more. So let's watch it a couple times, see if we like how it is. Alright. And then let's do a little bit of rotate C. It's over that planted foot. There. There. Here. Back there. And zero it out. Okay. And then bring that in. Okay, you obviously need to offset the chest and everything, but I feel like overall the movement's okay. Let's go and see that. And let's grab the chest and we'll start playing around there. Okay, so it's here. We want to do a little bit of rotate to give. Actually, maybe we'll do. Maybe we can only do a little bit of Z. Really scale this down a lot. Okay, so let's probably do right around there. Again, make sure we mimic that last frame. Let's go and see this now. Let's do a bit of rotate Z now here. Let's do a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit this way, that way, this way, and then back again. Okay. And we'll bring that back here. Let's see how we're doing. Right. It's workable. So let's look at the arms. Do a little bit of swing there. So we got here. And then we'll swing forward. There. Back. Forward again. Back. Forward again. And back again. Okay. And let's look at our rotate Ys. just a little bit. I think I'm going to keep this a little bit tighter than I usually do. I usually make that a little bit. So let's see. Oh, you know, I'm doing that on a base 12 system. That's what's wrong. I got to keep thinking I'm on a base 5. Or base 10 versus base 12, 6 or 5. I sound rambly there. Woohoo! And bring that up. Bring that back there. And I'll go back again. So let's see. Yeah. It's a bit stiffer, but I kind of want to keep those arms a little bit more stiff. Just kind of the idea I had was not to loosen up these arms as much as I probably normally would to really make them kind of feel over animated. I want to keep them kind of stiffer. Right, and let's look at the wrist. Do a little bit on the wrist here too. So I'll bring it in, bring it back a little bit, and bring it in, back a little bit, in, back a little bit, and back to where we started. Still feel like we might have done too much rotate on the chest, or not enough. It doesn't feel quite right yet, but let's finish up with these arms here. Let's go a little bit back there, a little bit forward, a little bit back, a little bit forward, back, forward, and back again. Let's see. Right, and we'll look at the wrist here. Bring the original starting point a little bit less extreme here. So let's bring that down here somewhere. Find it a little more like this. And we'll push these extremes a little bit further here. Maybe it's just the head. Let's try offsetting the head before we really tinker with the chest too much. So let's do a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, there. We'll probably scale this back a bit too. And let's look at the rotate. See here. Keep it forward. Let's see. Okay, let's scale it back and even it out, and probably be somewhere about 20% less. Grab these two, bring that up. Okay, so let's see how it looks. Maybe it's just the rotate Z. Here, we need to scale back a little bit. Rotate Y as well. Trying to find that good balance between twist through everything. Maybe we'll go a little bit more than that. Let's see. I think maybe we should even push the hips forward a little bit. this. That fits better. Okay, so now let's take another closer look at the feet here again. Because we don't want them intersecting through the ground plane, so let's look at each one. So here we want to do a little bit of rotate X there. And let's zero that out. Zero that out. Actually, let's take a step back. Let's just carve it so that it's lifted off there. So 34, we'll lift that up. This one we want to go in. Okay, lift it up there. You go in a little bit. Let's see. Still slipping through the ground plane there, so maybe we can do that with the toe. Do we have a toe controller here? This is toast. Yeah, we'll see. Toe lift, maybe. No? To straighten out. Let's see, there's gotta be a way here. Toe wiggle. Alright, got it. Okay. So we key it there. 18, we'll keep it flat there just so we're not intersecting. And 0 out there. And then 25, we'll maybe have it drag back there. 35, we could have it lift up, flatten, maybe 34, lift it up, delete that, and then 37, let's zero it out there, 38, we'll bend it there, 39 there, and then go at 25, so it'll be 20 frames from that, would be 45, right? Drag it back there. And then 54, have it lift up. 2 frames, have it zero out. Bring it back. Shape it up there. Do a little bit there. Drag it back there. 34, we'll have it lift up. Let's zero it out there. Okay, so let's see how that feels. Yeah, that feels about right. Okay, so let's go ahead and look here, and we'll start doing that with the other foot here, what we basically came up with. So we wanted it to rotate up there, 0 out, go up a little bit here, up a little there, up here. Is that what I did? Let's so let's see. Alright, and let's look at the toe wiggle. Where did I find that? Here? Okay. So how do I do that on 5 here, I think? Let's look. Toe wiggle. Around 4s and not 6s. Okay. So 4, we'd have a toe wiggle up here. 6, flatten it out. 7, just to make sure. 8, make sure it's there. At 15, we drag it down. And the next one would be at 24, lift it up. 26, flatten it out. Make sure we're staying flat there, flat there. 35, drag it down. 44, lift it up. 2 frames, flatten it out. Make sure we're staying on the ground plane there. 55, we'll drag it down. I'll go a little bit higher here. We'll bring that there. Okay, so let's see it now. Alright. Feels a lot better with those toes. I think we need to do a little less side to side and a little more up and down overall in the hips. Just a little bit. Okay. The rest of the stuff, we'll do a little bit of compress in the chest and the hips here. So I'll do a little bit of kind of seesaw back and forth in the hips on 5s here. And back again to where we started, and we'll clean that up. So that's really, because like I said, this is just kind of an extra here to make the belly feel a little bit looser. And we don't need a lot of it, and then I'll have to offset it in the chest by going the opposite direction there. But hopefully that'll loosen up our midsection a little bit and give us a little bit of that elongation and compression in the spine there. So let's go here. And we're going to scrunch it down a little bit. Go up a little bit. Down a little bit. Up a little bit. Like I said, this is one of those things where we really have to dial it in and make it pretty consistent and kind of minimal, because you've got a big head, so if we have a lot of this jerking around movement, it's not going to feel very good. So let's make sure we dial that in pretty tight here. A lot of times I like to do, with rotates and like side to side movement and up and down a little bit of variety is fine there. It doesn't have to be pretty tight, but compression, I tend to like keeping that pretty tight, because it can get a little too jerky and wonky if you don't, and it won't feel like it's just like accordion style compressing and releasing, which is really the feeling we want by adding this in here. So let's take a look in and see where we need to. It's okay, maybe a little bit less in the chest. There we go. Feels pretty good. That way we get that little bit of elongation there. Okay. Now let's go ahead and save that. And we'll do a little bit with the fingers and then a little bit on the face to loosen up the face as well. So let's go with the hand here. So index spread. We'll just add a little bit of swing up there. Back there. Up here. take the index spread and we'll push it forward a frame. So it's kind of leading, and the pinky spread and we'll push it back a frame so it follows a little bit more. Let's see. And let's look at the thumb curl. And I'll do a little bit of, that's not what I want. Maybe it's thumb spread. No. Thumb twist. I guess we could do twist there. It's not as good. And thumb spread here. Should get a little bit of looseness in there. Okay, and I'll try and go back there. Just so I can get a little bit of recoil. I'm really having to tweak these kind of manually more so than usual here. I want to do a little bit here if I can. There. And then we'll go back again to the beginning. Try to loosen up that thumb a little bit if we can. Okay. Like I said, not a lot, but just so we get a little bit of looseness in that thumb. It just helps us, helps the hands feel a little more loose. Okay, and let's look at spreads here, and swim back there, forward here, right? Let's see. We'll swing back there, and forward here. It's going the wrong way there for a second. Back, forward, back, forward, and then back again to where we started here. Alright, and we'll take the index spread and we'll push it forward a frame. And the pinky spread, we'll bring it back a frame there. Yeah, let's see. Alright, and then the thumb, go ahead and curl it in a little bit more. Curl it out a bit. Curl it in a bit. Out. In. And again back to where we were. Alright, and we will do a blink on in the eyes, just to keep the eyes loose and a little bit of looseness in maybe the nose and the mouth if we can. So let's see, what do we have for the upper lid? Is there a blink here? Let's do each one here. So set those up a little bit higher there. And we'll close one down. A little sensitive on this controller here. And forward a couple more frames. Keep it down for 3 frames. Go back up again. And then back into where we were. Okay. And let's clean that up a little bit more. So start off here and just so we have a little bit of movement there. Overshoots, comes down and blinks. Takes too long. Push that forward a couple of frames. Overshoot. Take what we have at 57 and bring it there. So we still have a little bit of movement there. Okay, that should be about right. Let's see. exaggerate them here. Have them close up there. Over exaggerate there and pull back into here. Okay, and we'll take this and bring that there. Okay, and we'll look at our graph again. And we've got them undershooting and going up and holding, undershooting out, and then going back with a little bit of movement. So let's see. Alright, and gotta save this here, and we'll do a little bit of eyebrow as well. So we'll set those. Go ahead and go up a little bit here. Down there. Hold it for a few frames. Kick it up here. And then go back again. Okay. And take a look at 2 and bring that to about 8. I'll delay that about another frame here because we want the eyelids to lead and the brows to kind of follow. Key this one. And ease back in where we were to begin with. Okay. So let's see how that feels. Okay, I think it's just a little too over exaggerated, so I'll just scale it back a little bit more. And just scale it back. Those brows are so big that you can't really do a ton of them, or it just gets too distracting. That feels better. Alright, and let's look at the nose and the jaw and see if we can add a little bit of bounce there. Is there a nose controller? Lip, lip, lip. Eyes, eyes, eyes. Cheeks, we can do some bounce in the cheeks. So set that. Oh, that's puff. That's not bounce. Alright, oh well. Let's look at the mouth. Nope. Okay, well, let's look at the jaw. Let's make sure we don't do anything on there. Okay, so the jaw. And we'll delay this a frame or two so it lags behind and also minimize it. We don't need a lot of this. And back again. Okay. Like I said, I want to minimize the amount of movement there. It doesn't have to be exactly even though, but I don't want a lot of movement here. So let's see. Alright, and like I said, let's delay it about 2 frames. That means we're going to need to punch in another key here. Goes down a little bit. So let's see. And let's look at the emotion. Let's just start off with it a little bit lower. cheeks and everything here. Do a little bit of bounce in there. Even though this is an motion controller, it really gives us some bounce in the cheeks if we can do it right here. And again, we'll scale this back a little bit more. Let's see. Add some looseness in the cheeks. And again, I'm probably going to scale that back a little bit more. Alright, I think that works. You can definitely play up and clean it up a little bit more. Spend another probably hour or so cleaning it up, but I think we got something workable within the time frame that we like to stick to. Try and keep these within an hour so they don't go too long. So let's take a look back at where we started. We're looking at the beautiful work of Jonathan Wayshak, and he said, we're not just interested in doing anything common. And I think that's a great goal to have, to not be like other people, be inspired by other people, be influenced, but in the end, try and come up with stuff that's original, that's new, that's creative, that's pushing limits, that's really utilizing your own creativity and your own imagination that no one else can duplicate because no one else has had the exact same experiences as you. So that's what makes you unique, so try and push that into your work as well. So thanks again for all the likes and subscribes. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys took another step in your journey towards mastering whatever medium it is that you're in love with. And I think that'll wrap it up for today because I can tell that if I don't, I'll get rambly. So I love you guys lots. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.